Heartwarming reunion. Millionaire discovers his incredible twins at airport after 5 years apart. Jason Hartman's heart raced as he stood in the bustling New York City airport, his mind jumbled with emotions scarier than business deals and financial forecasts. 5 years had slipped by like quicksilver since he'd lost custody of his twin daughters Maya and Leah. Life had become a construct of luxury without the warmth of family, where each room echoed with silence that deepened the void in his heart. Today was supposed to mark yet another tedious flight to an important corporate meeting, but the ache of loneliness swelled within him, a constant reminder of what he'd lost. The terminal hummed with life, laughter bouncing against polished floors and vending machines. Was it the summer sun that ignited a wild hope in him? Or did it come crashing down with every giggle that pierced the familiar sounds? Suddenly he froze, his breath hitching in his throat. Bursting forth from the crowd, Jason's heart stopped as he spotted two lively figures sprawled out under the overhead signs. Maya and Leah, his daughters unwaveringly captivating in their chatter, were nestled in a bubble of joy with their mother, a woman he once fiercely battled. The sight sent an electric jolt through his chest. Running toward them felt like entering a dream. The girls' laughter vibrant and intoxicating. It echoed back to him, pulling up memories of bedtime stories, weekends at the park, and laughter that filled their once welcoming home. Jason's pulse quickened, torn between the joy of their existence and the emptiness of 5 years apart. The girl's bright eyes seemed to shine with a kaleidoscope of possibilities. "Come on, Jason," he whispered to himself, trying to gather the remnants of his confidence. "This is your family." Yet, inside him the crippling weight of inadequacy loomed larger. People passing by shot lingering glances, whispers hanging in the air. A man in a suit, a self-made millionaire, and sorrowful father reunited with his estranged daughters. How ironic life could be. Before he knew it, Maya and Leah's laughter turned into a melodic memory as they began to sing an old camping song they used to love. There, in that crowded airport, they transformed into vibrant sparks, igniting the flickering flame of hope within him. Their harmonies swept around him, each note a testimony to the love shared and a hint of what might be rebuilt. But guilt wrapped tight in his chest. He had missed so much. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. The performance faded, but their unguarded love shone through it all, befuddling yet beautifully raw. They didn't seem to care about where they had been. They only cared about what was happening now. Jason's heart fractured anew. Could he turn back the clock and piece together the love they once shared? The moment felt fragile as the announcer's voice echoed through the terminal, calling for gateboarding. Anxiety flooded him. What now? Would the whispers of judgment condemn him to a singular life, or could this chance evoke the family he desperately longed for? As uncertainty hung in the air, Jason stood on the precipice of possibility. Would he dare to leap into the wild unknown, to rebuild what was broken? The questions loomed larger than life itself, the fate of a family waiting for him to act. Jason stood still, caught in a whirlwind of emotions. He watched his daughters, carefree and bursting with joy, oblivious to the storm brewing in their father's heart. He took a deep breath, letting the moment wash over him. This was it. This was his chance. But fear clawed at him, tightening its grip. What if they didn't want him back? What if the years he had missed were too great to bridge? His eyes darted between Maya and Leah, who were animatedly sharing some inside joke with their mother. He could still feel the echo of their laughter ringing in his ears, swirling around him like a haunting melody. It broke his heart to realize how much he longed to join them, to reclaim the laughter he had lost. He took a tentative step forward, his body moving almost on instinct. Before he could second-guess himself, Jason approached them. Every step felt heavy, anticipation coiling like a spring inside him. He could hear his heart thumping in sync with the muted chatter around him as he grew closer. "Hey," he called out gently, his voice barely breaking through the other sounds of the airport. The girls turned around. For an instant time seemed to freeze. "Maya, Leah," Jason's voice cracked, tears pricking at the corners of his eyes. The girls' reactions were immediate, their faces lighting up as they took in the sight of their father. Their laughter faded into an astonished silence. Leah's eyes went wide, while Maya's mouth dropped open in disbelief. "Dad?" Maya's voice trembled as she stepped forward, a mixture of joy and uncertainty washing over her face. Jason swallowed hard, trying to find the words. "I can't believe it's really you." He crouched down, opening his arms, inviting them into his embrace. The moment felt fragile, almost surreal, and yet it was everything he had hoped for. Time melted away as the girls tumbled into his arms, enveloping him in warmth. It felt like coming home after a long absence, and yet there was an underlying uncertainty threaded with the relief of reunion. "I missed you both so much," he whispered, his voice shaking as emotion poured over him like a wave. He held them tight, squeezing his eyes shut, fighting back the tears that threatened to spill over as they pulled away. Leah's bright smile lit up the space around them. "We were just singing," she exclaimed, her innocence radiating like sunshine. "I heard. You were amazing." Jason couldn't help but respond, a genuine smile breaking through the worry etched on his face. But before the joy could take hold completely, the reality of the situation pierced through the blissful moment. Their mother stood observing, arms crossed, a wariness reflected in her eyes. Jason could read the unspoken words in her gaze. "I didn't mean to interrupt," he offered, trying to ease the tension that hung like a heavy fog. I wanted to see my girls." The silence stretched, charged with unsaid feelings. From the corner of his eye, he could see curious onlookers gathering, absorbed in this heartfelt scene that seemed to defy the normal chaos of the airport. "Why now?" their mother finally asked, her voice steady, but laced with a mix of defensiveness and curiosity. "You just show up after all this time?" Jason felt his heart sink. He had envisioned a different type of reunion, a seamless merging of days past with hopes for the future. But now, standing in the glaring spotlight of judgment, he realized this was just the beginning. Without knowing where this newfound courage had come from, he spoke. "Because I finally realized what I lost, and I don't want to lose you again." Suddenly, the walls felt as if they were closing in around him, the weight of the past pressing down hard. Could he convince them that his love was enough to bridge the years? Would this hesitant moment of hope be the start of something beautiful? Or would it slip through his fingers once more? The unanswered questions loomed in the air as Maya and Leah exchanged uncertain glances. What choice would they make? In that crowded airport terminal, Jason stood at a crossroads, a father yearning for redemption, caught in the fragile web of family ties. The outcome was veiled in uncertainty, waiting for him to dare to take the next step. Would he be brave enough to fight for his place in their lives? Jason's heart raced as he studied the expressions on his daughters' faces. Maya looked hopeful yet cautious, while Leah's innocent enthusiasm seemed untouched by the gravity swirling around them. For a moment he just wanted to reach out and soak in the joyful energy around them, to forget the hurt and pain of separation. Maya broke the silence first. "Are you here for good this time?" she asked, her gaze searching Jason's eyes, as if seeking an answer to all their unspoken questions. I want to be," Jason replied, feeling every word like a weighty promise. "I've missed so much, and I want to be a part of your lives again." Leah clapped her hands together, her excitement bubbling over. "Does that mean we can have family game nights again?" She beamed up at him, her youthful energy radiating pure joy. Jason's heart swelled at the thought. "Absolutely," he said. "We'll play all the games." But as the words left his mouth, he felt a crushing weight in his chest, the fear of not being enough turning the joy into a bittersweet feeling. It hurt to know he'd missed so many game nights already, so many moments he could never get back. Their mother, still standing a few steps back, watched them. Jason sensed her protective gaze, felt the unyielding skepticism she wore like armor. "You can't just stroll back in after 5 years, Jason," she said, her voice firm, leaving no room for misunderstanding. "There are responsibilities, trust to rebuild." "Believe me, I know," Jason interrupted gently. "I understand it won't be easy. I just want a chance to show you, all of you, that I can be better." Leah's smile faltered a bit at the weight of her mother's words, and Jason's heart sank. He was reminded of how fragile hope could be. He reached for Leah's hand, feeling the warmth of her tiny fingers wrap around his as he clenched his own. Maya looked at her sister, then back at him, her brave face faltering. "But Dad, what if it doesn't work?" There was a tremor in her voice, raw and honest, cutting through the air. A lump formed in Jason's throat. Then we'll figure it out together, he said, disbelief dancing across his mind. Could he really promise that? The thought of failure rekindled all his insecurities. I'm here to try, that's what matters. Their mother stepped closer, cutting through the uncertainty like a knife. You think words are enough? Trust is built with action. She looked at him, the weight of their past hanging heavily between them. Jason knew she was right, but he also felt a flicker of determination within him. Then let me prove it. Just give me a chance, let me show you how much I care. Looking at his daughters, he added, how much I love you both. The silence that followed felt more like a question than a statement. Jason held his breath, waiting for their response, a storm of emotions swirling in their eyes. For a moment it felt like the world had paused. Everyone around them turned still. Did he have what it took to fight for his family? Maya and Leah exchanged glances, and Jason could see the shift in their expressions. Uncertainty tangled with a glimmer of hope. Just a glimmer, but enough to ignite his heart. Okay, Maya finally said, a small smile breaking the tension. You can start by taking us to get ice cream. Jason laughed, relief flooding his body. Ice cream it is. As they walked toward the exit, Jason felt lighter, as if the burdens of the past were starting to lift. But as they stepped out into the bright light of the day, he realized they were still walking a tightrope. Moments of hope balanced precariously against fear. Could he really rebuild their trust and love, or would the weight of the past come crashing back? He felt a familiar knot forming in his stomach, realizing that the real challenge was just beginning. As the warm sun warmed his face, Jason took a deep breath, searching for the strength he needed. The uncertainty lingered, like a dark cloud hanging overhead. But for the first time in a long time, he felt the cautious flicker of hope, reminding him that every journey must start with a single step. What happened next would shape their future more than he could ever imagine. With the sweet taste of ice cream on their lips, would they find new beginnings together? Or would history repeat itself in the most heartbreaking way? The ice cream shop was a cozy little place filled with the laughter of children and the sweet aroma of waffle cones. Jason watched as Leah bounced in excitement, her eyes sparkling with delight. Maya was more reserved, her curiosity evident in her cautious smile. He could almost hear the conflicting thoughts in her head, and it tugged at Jason's heart. He ordered 3 sundaes chocolate for Leah, vanilla for Maya, and a mix of both for himself. They found a small table near the window, the sun streaming in, casting warm light on their youthful faces. As they dug into their treats, Leah squealed with joy when she found a generous scoop of rainbow sprinkles hidden under her mountain of soft serve. Dad, this is amazing, she said, her voice ringing with pure happiness. Jason smiled, but that familiar knot returned. I'm glad you like it. I remember how much you used to love sprinkles. Maya, playing with her sundae and watching her sister, finally spoke up. It's nice to have you here. Her voice was quiet, but there was something sincere and tentative behind her words. I want to be around for all the good stuff, you know? Not just the big moments but the little ones like this, Jason said, his voice thick with emotion. Leah, ever the enthusiastic one, suddenly leaned forward. Can we play games tonight? Like real games, not just card games. You know, the ones with the dice and the board? I miss the way you always lose at Monopoly. A laugh bubbled up from Jason's chest, the tension easing for a moment. Oh, you have no idea how much practice I've had. He chuckled, despite the gnawing concern in the back of his mind. He could see the joy in Leah's eyes, and it made him long to be the dad they deserved. Maya, watching her sister, seemed to measure Jason like she was trying to decipher a puzzle. How can you be sure you'll stick around this time? His heart sank at the question. I can't promise things will be perfect, but I want to try harder. I know I haven't always been there, but I'm committed now. That's why I want to be here with you both. Another silence fell, more contemplative than the previous ones. Jason felt a strong urge to reach out, to assure them verbally and physically. But he also knew he had to respect their space. They were still processing. So much had happened in those 5 years, and he understood he was asking for a leap of faith. Maya bit her lip. What if we ever need you and you aren't there? What if it gets hard again? Then I'll work harder. This time it's different. I know it's not just about coming back for ice cream or games. It's about being present, really present, Jason replied, his voice steady. Will you help me? Will you help me be better? He could feel the weight of his own words, realizing he was not just asking for their trust, but for collaboration in this journey. Would they be willing to take those steps with him? Leah, lost in thought for a moment, looked up with a firm nod. Okay, let us give it a try. But you have to promise not to give up on us. Ever again. I promise, he said, feeling a wave of emotion wash over him. As they finished their Sundays and got ready to leave, Jason's heart swelled. Things felt different, lighter somehow. Yet he couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of a long road ahead. As they walked hand in hand toward the car, laughter erupted from Leah, while Maya gave a shy smile. But just then Jason's phone rang, breaking the moment. It was an unknown number. As he answered, a chill ran through him at the voice on the other end. Jason, we need to talk. It's about the past and your daughters. The light-hearted atmosphere evaporated, replaced by an icy realization that he couldn't escape the shadows of his former life. Would the burdens he thought he was shedding come rushing back to overshadow this hopeful reunion? Dad, who is it? Leah asked, her little hand tugging at Jason's arm, pulling him back to the moment. He tried to focus, but the sound of the voice on the other end echoed in his mind, each word like a drumbeat against his chest. The past, the memories he had buried, clawed their way back into his thoughts. Just an old friend, he lied, casting a quick glance at Maya, whose brow furrowed with concern. He couldn't let them see the panic stir within him. Let us finish our day, he said, forcing a smile. He hung up and pocketed the phone, but his heart wasn't in it anymore. The joy had dimmed. As they climbed into the car, Jason took a deep breath. He could see Leah in the mirror, her face alight with excitement, while Maya looked thoughtful, studying her reflection in the glass. He wished he could bottle this moment, the glittering innocence, and protect it from any storm that might brew on the horizon. Where to next? Leah chirped, her voice cutting through his worries. How about the park? He suggested, grateful for something easy and cheerful. Maya nodded, but there was a seriousness in her eyes that gnawed at him. Do you think we'll still have fun? She asked softly. Of course. We can play frisbee, and maybe I'll show you how to climb those crazy rocks by the playground, Jason said, willing his tone to be brighter. With a little more enthusiasm, Leah perked up. I'll race you to the swings. As they arrived at the park, Jason's heart warmed watching Leah dash toward the swings, her laughter trailing behind like music. Maya hesitated, her eyes scanning the playground, uncertain. Hey, want to start with the slides? Jason asked, stepping closer to Maya. She looked down at her shoes, biting her lip. I'm okay. I want to see Leah have fun. Jason felt a pang of sadness for her quietness. You deserve fun too, Maya. Come on, let us go. Slowly, she joined him, her steps lingering behind his. The park felt alive. The sun dipped low, casting golden rays through the trees. But for Jason, something felt off. The phone call loomed large in the back of his mind, a shadow over their playful afternoon. The sun set behind the trees as the children played, and Jason felt the heaviness of silence pressing on him. Leah's giggles were a balm, but Maya's distance worried him. He couldn't shake the thought that the conversation he had might bring trouble to their little bubble. Hey, how about we play a game? He suggested, wrapping his arm around Maya. You choose. Anything you want. Maya looked up, her eyes brightening, but before she could answer, her gaze flickered past him. Her expression shifted to alarm. Dad, look. He turned, following her line of sight, and froze. A figure loomed by the park entrance, someone familiar yet foreign, and the chill of recognition settled in him like ice. What are they doing here? Maya whispered, gripping Jason's hand tighter. He felt the tension curling in his stomach. I don't know. The figure took a step closer, and Jason's heart raced. This was the last person he expected, yet the one he tried to keep at bay. The ghosts of his past were resurfacing. Would they shatter the delicate bond he was trying to rebuild with his daughters? He turned back to Maya, swallowing hard. Whatever happens, I'm here. We'll get through this together. But deep down, uncertainty churned. As the shadow approached, Jason felt a wrenching in his chest. Could he truly protect them from the past? Would it even be possible to move forward after this? Jason's eyes narrowed, his body tensing as the figure stepped fully into view. A familiar face emerged from the shadows. It was Sam, an old acquaintance from that tangled time he'd tried so hard to forget. "Hey Jason," Sam called out, his tone casual but edged with a sharpness that sent Jason's heart racing. "Why are you here?" Jason's voice came out low, a protective instinct awakening inside him. He needed to shield Maya and Leah from this conversation, from whatever past Sam represented that was creeping back into their lives. Maya's grip tightened around his hand, sensing his unease. Leah, blissfully unaware, continued to swing, her laughter ringing like a bell against the weight of the moment. "I just thought I'd check in. Been a while, huh?" Sam's easy demeanor felt wrong, like a mask hiding something entirely more sinister. Jason took a deep breath, trying to keep his composure. "We're busy right now," he said firmly, yet the trembling in his heart didn't agree with his tone. "Busy? With little ones?" Sam gestured toward the playground, noticing Leah swinging high above the ground, her carefree spirit shining brightly against the red sky as dusk settled in. "She's got a lot of energy. Nice isn't it?" Jason felt a mix of protectiveness and anger. "What do you want, Sam?" he pressed, his voice tightening. "I just came to say hello. Old friends should catch up," Sam replied, but his eyes glinted in a way that sent Jason's thoughts racing. What was behind that smile? What did he know? "Old friends don't show up out of the blue," Maya interjected, her voice surprisingly firm for someone so young. Jason glanced down at her, surprised by her sudden clarity amid the tension. "You don't belong here," she said, matter-of-factly. The corner of Sam's mouth twitched upward, but there was no warmth in it. "That's a harsh thing to say, kid. I'm just here for a friendly chat." Jason lowered himself to Maya's level, hoping to comfort her. He could see her little mind processing the situation, her innocence cracking under the strain of the unexpected encounter. "It's okay, sweetheart. We can go in a minute." But Maya wasn't deterred. "Are you going to stay away from us? Or will you come back uninvited again?" Jason locked eyes with Sam, the weight of the moment pressing down on him, a mixture of fear and a fiery urge to protect his daughters. "You need to leave," he said. "Come on, Jason. Let us not be rude," Sam replied, stepping forward. The warmth in Jason's chest evaporated, replaced by a chill that settled deep as he realized Sam wasn't going anywhere. Jason straightened himself, stepping in front of Maya and Leah. "You don't get to dictate how we live our lives anymore. Stay away from us." For a moment, everything froze. Children played unaware. Laughter filled the air. But for Jason, time felt suspended. Sam's expression shifted from jovial to serious. "Is that what you really want? You don't know what's coming. Things change. People change." "What are you talking about?" Jason took a step forward, fists clenched at his sides. "Just remember, I'm still here. And I'll always have a way of finding you." As the words hung in the air, Jason felt the world tilt. Sam turned, walking away, casting a long shadow behind him that felt like a harbinger of trouble. Maya looked up at him, eyes wide. "Dad, who was that?" Jason dropped onto one knee, brushing a loose strand of hair from her face. "Just someone from the past. Nothing to worry about, I promise." But as he watched Sam disappear into the distance, doubt clawed at him. What had he just unleashed? "Let us finish our fun day, huh?" Leah called, oblivious, and Jason forced a smile, hiding the chaos brewing inside. But as they resumed their play, Jason's heart raced at the thought of what might come next. Could he shield his daughters from the specters of his past? The battle was far from over, and with every laugh, every swing, he felt the weight of inevitable conflicts ahead. What price would he have to pay to keep them safe? Jason tried to shove Sam's words out of his mind as he focused on the vibrant colors of the sunset reflecting off the playground. Leah's laughter was still ringing, sweet and pure, as she swung higher into the air. He watched her face light up, and for a second everything felt normal. But deep down a storm brewed. His protective instincts flared, warning him that this might be a false calm. "Maya, let us go grab some ice cream," he suggested, standing back up and hoping to change the mood. He was acutely aware that Sam had only been the first flicker of darkness, but a crooked smile from his little girl was all he needed to silence the unease, if only for a moment. "Yay, ice cream!" Leah squealed, her little legs pumping as she jumped off the swing. Maya followed closely behind, though Jason could see her still processing their encounter, Her brow slightly furrowed in thought as they approached the nearby ice cream stand. The familiarity of the place soothed Jason's fast-beating heart. The sun dipped lower, spilling golden light over the children and the colorful awnings overhead. He ordered their favorite flavors: chocolate for Leah, strawberry for Maya, and forced himself to relax, chatting with them about silly things, like which cartoon characters would make the best ice cream flavor. "Maya, if you could invent an ice cream flavor, what would it be?" he asked playfully. "I'd make it peanut butter and jelly," she declared, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Yuck." Leah scrunched her face. "That would be gross. I'd make it chocolate chip cookie dough. Super extra chocolatey." Jason chuckled, more at their angelic banter than their ridiculous choices. He needed this laughter, this sense of family, a shield against the dark memories creeping back. But as they continued to eat, Jason noticed Maya's expression drifting back to serious, her brows knitting together with concern. "Dad," she said, her voice low, "is Sam going to come back?" Jason took a deep breath, searching for the right words. "I hope not, honey. Some people, they don't have the best intentions." He leaned down, looking into her innocent brown eyes. "But I promise whatever happens I'll always keep you safe, okay?" She nodded slowly, but he could see a hint of fear still settling in her heart, like a storm cloud threatening the sunshine. He hated that he couldn't remove that fear entirely. As they finished their ice cream and headed back toward the car, Jason felt a sudden heaviness settle in his chest. He was acutely aware of Maya's quietness, her young mind kicking into gear, trying to process adult fears. It made him anxious. "Hey, how about a fun game?" he suggested, attempting to engage them in playful distraction. "Let us see who can spot the most funny-shaped clouds in the sky." "Oh, there's one that looks like a rabbit," Leah said, pointing to a fluffy white cloud drifting lazily overhead. They laughed, and for a brief moment, Jason felt the weight lift as he watched them playfully argue over which cloud looked like what. But the quiet after the laughter felt too loud, and in the back of his mind, he couldn't fully shake the thought of Sam lurking out there, waiting patiently that night. As he tucked his daughters into bed, an insistent sense of foreboding lingered in the air. He kissed them goodnight, watching their eyelids flutter closed, but there was still something gnawing at him. The sense that something wasn't finished was almost palpable, following him like a shadow. As he stepped into the hallway, he couldn't ignore it anymore. What did Sam mean about things changing? What was it he didn't know? Jason lowered his head, pressing his fingertips against his temples as he moved down the dimly lit hall. The walls felt like they were closing in, the shadows merging with fears he thought he'd left behind. It was clear now he was going to have to confront his past. Would he be able to keep his family together as the truth emerged? Or would the cracks begin to show, leaving behind an irreparable fracture? Jason leaned against the wall, his heart racing with an unshakable mix of dread and determination. He couldn't dismiss Sam's words anymore. They echoed like a chilling reminder of the life he'd kept hidden, buried deep under layers of laughter and love. The glow of the hallway light seemed to flicker almost mockingly, reminding him of the darkness he wished to keep at bay. Taking a deep breath, Jason stepped into the dim living room, glancing at the photo of him, Leah, and Maya resting atop the fireplace, a snapshot of happier times. Their smiles felt like a protective charm, but even the charmed air felt thin and fragile. Thoughts of confronting his past waged a quiet war in his mind. What would happen if he faced it head-on? Would it break his family apart in a way he couldn't mend? He walked over to the window, gaze drawn outside. The neighborhood was peaceful, crickets harmonizing in the distance, but his mind was anything but calm. What if Sam came back? What if his threats were merely the beginning? Jason gripped the edge of the windowsill, feeling a desperate urge to shield his girls from whatever storm loomed ahead. "Maya," he whispered, testing the name on his lips like a protective spell. He could hear the soft thud of her heart in the quiet house, an anchor tethering him to the present. But that anchor felt precarious now. Would he keep her safe from Sam or from the truth? His phone buzzed, jarring him out of his thoughts. He glanced down to see a text from Lily, his sister. "Thinking of you. Hope you're okay. Call me when you can." He paused, the phone slipping from his fingers for just a second before he caught it. Lily. She would have advice. She'd faced tough family decisions before. Maybe she could help him find a way through this turmoil. With newfound urgency, he dialed her number. "Jason." What's going on? Her voice crackled through, laced with concern. I'm not sure where to start. His voice was shaky, revealing more of his panic than he intended. It's about Sam. We ran into him today. There was silence on the other end, and for a fleeting moment, he could almost hear her processing the situation. Are the girls okay? They're fine for now. But Maya, she asked if Sam was coming back. And I don't know how to answer her, he admitted, feeling the weight of uncertainty in each word. Jason, listen to me. You have to tell them what's going on, in a way they can understand. They need to know that it's safe to talk about their fears. He swallowed hard, the weight of her suggestion pressing down on him. But what if I don't have all the answers? Maybe you don't right now, but honesty is important. They need to trust you and you need to trust yourself, she replied, her words steadying him amidst the storm. Jason leaned against the wall, a sense of clarity washing over him with her words. He needed to create a space for his children where they could feel secure. He would explain what was going on. He would let them know they could voice their fears without punishment or shame. Thanks, Lily. I appreciate it, he said softly, feeling the rush of emotional weight lift just a fraction. Anytime. Let me know if you need anything else, Lily said before hanging up. He turned back toward the hallway, taking it step by step as if shaping a new path ahead. They faced this together like they always had as a family. He wouldn't let fear shatter that bond. The courage to change their narrative ignited in him. Tomorrow would be different. Tomorrow he would sit down with Maya and Leah. He would talk to them about Sam, no more secrets, just honesty and love. But as he turned to go back to his girls, a sharp knock echoed through the silence. The sound rattled him. Who could that be at this hour? Jason's heart raced again, his body instinctively tensing. He opened the door slowly, tension coiling within him like a wound spring, and standing there, shadowed by the porch light, was a figure he hadn't expected to see. Jason, the voice said, filled with a mix of urgency and dread. We need to talk. His breath caught in his throat, uncertainty gripping at him as he stared into the face of the past. What now? Who are you? Jason managed, his voice barely a whisper. As the figure stepped into the dim light, recognition washed over him, leaving a bitter taste in his mouth. It's me, Jessica, she said, her brown eyes piercing through the shadows. 5 years had passed since they last laid eyes on each other, an eternity tangled in unspoken words and unresolved feelings. The memories of their life together felt like a distant dream, overshadowed now by everything that had happened. Why are you here? He felt anger flare up, mixed with a strange sense of longing. You disappeared, Jess. After everything, why now? I know it's been a long time, Jason, she replied, her voice steady but trembling at the edges. But I need to explain. It's important and it can't wait. Jason opened the door wider, the cool night air sending a shiver down his spine as he gestured for her to come in. He closed the door behind her, eyes darting toward the living room where Maya and Leah slept, oblivious to the tumult brewing just outside their sanctuary. Make it quick, he said, crossing his arms. His heart pounded in his chest, a storm of confusion raging within him. Every fiber of his being screamed to walk away, to shield himself from everything she brought with her. I'm sorry, she began, biting her lip. I didn't want to leave you. I thought it was the best for everyone. But things have changed and I can't keep running. You didn't deserve any of this. What do you mean? Jason's brow furrowed, a flood of questions coursing through him. What could possibly justify leaving without a word? She took a deep breath, visibly steeling herself. Sam, he has been after me. After us. I thought distancing myself would protect you. Protect the girls. I didn't realize he would come back into your life. The words tore through Jason like a knife, reopening old scars. You think hiding made anything better? Just tell me what's going on. Why is he after you? After us? I can't go into all of it now, she whispered urgently, glancing toward the hallway as if the shadows might come alive with the truth. But he knows about Maya. He knows about you both. Jessica's hands trembled, her composure unraveling. I'm scared, Jason. I know I messed up, but I need you to understand he'll do anything to get what he wants. Jason felt the ground shift beneath him. His world, already precarious, quaked under the weight of her revelation. What does he want? Why us? Jessica hesitated, pulling her gaze away as if the truth was too heavy to bear. He thinks Maya's is his, she finally said. He wants to claim her. I thought I could keep you safe, but now before she could finish, the air was thick with an intense silence. Jason's heart raced, grappling with a swell of emotions: anger, grief, protectiveness. He loved his girls fiercely, and the notion that danger loomed close sent waves of panic rippling through him. What are you saying? He pressed, searching her eyes for answers. I need your help. We need to keep Maya and Leah safe. We have to confront this together. I can't do this alone anymore. Jason felt the heaviness of the future pressing down on him. He opened his mouth to respond, but his mind raced, caught between the past that haunted him and the future that now felt more uncertain than ever. It was a gamble taking her back into his life, into the lives of his daughters. For a fleeting moment he felt a glimmer of hope, a breath of possibility. But with hope came trepidation. Can we trust you? He finally asked, his voice a low murmur. I swear I will do anything to protect them, Jason. I promise, she begged, her sincerity palpable. His heart pounded as he faced the crossroads. Would he let her back into their lives? Or would he shut the door on the past once and for all? As he stood there, caught in the grip of a decision with world-shattering implications, a chilling sound pierced the night. A distant holler echoed through the stillness outside, a voice unmistakably familiar. Jason's breath caught once more. No, he whispered under his breath, dread coiling in his gut as he realized the confrontation he had been dreading might have already begun. He spun to look out the window, the shadows at the edge of their world lurking closer than he'd ever feared. What was coming for them? What would the dawn bring? Jason's heart pounded as dread wrapped around him. The voice outside, frighteningly familiar, sent shivers down his spine. It was Sam drawing closer, ushering back the memories he had worked so hard to bury. Jason turned to Jessica, her wide eyes reflecting his own fear. We have to protect the girls, he urged, pulling her into the living room. The walls felt as if they were squeezing them tighter with every heartbeat. What do we do? Panic crept through him like a cold wind. I'll talk to him. I can handle this, Jessica offered, but Jason shook his head. No. He insisted, his voice rising. You've already kept too much from us. We confront this together. You can't do this alone anymore. We're a family now. We have to be a unit. Steeling himself, Jason took a deep breath. We're going outside. The girls need to be kept safe. He took one last look at the rooms that held his daughters, their laughter still echoing in the air, a reminder of what was at stake. They stepped outside cautiously, the night air heavy with tension. Jason could hear Sam's voice, taunting and persistent as it drifted closer. I know you're in there, Hartman. You can't hide forever. Just stay behind me, Jason breathed to Jessica, who nodded but looked anywhere but at him. This wasn't the reunion he had envisioned with his family. It felt like the storm of the past was unapologetically crashing down upon them. As he stepped onto the porch, the sight of Sam waiting on the curb ignited a fire within him. Surrounded by shadows, Sam stood like a predator, his grin dripping with malice. Thought you could escape, huh? What's the matter? Afraid of a little conversation? Get away from us, Sam, Jason shouted, his protective instincts surging. This is your last warning. Sam chuckled, the sound chilling. Last warning? Oh, Jason, you should know no one walks away unscathed from this. His gaze darted toward Jessica, an unsettling glimmer in his eyes. I see you brought the ghost back with you. How quaint. Jason felt Jessica tense beside him. You don't scare me, Sam, she shot back, her voice stronger than he expected. Sam's smile faltered, and the air thickened with unspoken aggression. You think I'm here for you? I'm after what I deserve, and that's the kids. You're playing a dangerous game, Hartman. What do you want with them? Jason demanded, stepping forward and pushing back the wave of fear threatening to drown him. He had to protect his daughters at all costs. I merely want what's rightfully mine, Sam retorted, his tone mocking. Maya belongs to me. The revelation slew Jason's confidence. You're insane. He roared, fury rippling within him. You think you can just claim them? As Sam approached, the tension escalated, both men poised for confrontation. Jason felt adrenaline flooding his system, the instinct to shield his daughters flickering dangerously beneath the surface. They may be yours, Jason, but they are also mine, Sam snarled, his gaze leering. No. Jessica interjected vehemently. You have no rights here. You lost everything the moment you walked away. The atmosphere shifted. Jason glanced back toward the house where his daughters slept peacefully, blissfully ignorant of the chaos unfolding right outside. We won't let you bully your way back into their lives or mine. With an almost predatory glint in his eye, Sam replied, Oh really? Are you sure about that? I will do anything necessary to get what I want. Jason's determination hardened. You won't lay a finger on them. We will fight you if we have to. Suddenly Jason caught sight of a flicker of guilt cross Jessica's features, tinged with fear for what was coming. We'll go to the authorities, she whispered, her breath shaking. We'll get a legal order if we need to. Sam laughed, a hollow sound devoid of warmth. Good luck with that. You know how these things work. The law is just a game. I've been playing it my whole life. Jason locked his jaw, tightening his fists. This was more than just a battle of words. It was a fight for their future. The thought of his girls being swept up in Sam's chaotic world churned Jason's stomach, igniting an inferno of resistance. Enough, Jason shouted, filling the air with resolve. If this is a game to you, then let us play. I refuse to be a victim in my own life. The night crackled with tension, time holding its breath. Sam's eyes burned with something like admiration, or was it madness? You really think you can take me on? You don't know who I am. Neither do you know what I'm capable of to keep my family safe. Jason countered vehemently. Just then the door creaked open behind them. A tiny voice chimed in, Dad? What is happening? Jason's heart dropped as he saw Maya and Leah peeking out. The innocent inquiry from his girls filled him with both dread and determination. Get back inside. It's not safe, he urged, his pulse quickening. Maya's brows knitted with confusion. Why are you yelling? Because some people think they can come and hurt our family. Jason's voice was firm, but panic clawed at him. Leah clung to her sister, their little bodies trembling as they absorbed the distress. No, don't hurt us, she whimpered. Jason raised his hand, the urge to protect raging fiercely within him. No one is going to hurt you, I promise. A flicker of recognition washed over Sam as he absorbed the scene. Oh, how sweet, he taunted, more venom than sentiment. The happy family. But here's the thing, kids, if you're not careful, things can turn sour really quickly. No, Jessica shouted, stepping in front of the girls. Get away from them, you monster. The intensity of the moment crystallized into resolve. I won't let you, none of this will happen, Jason declared, stepping between Sam and his daughters like a wall of granite. Let us see how long that lasts, Hartman. Sam smirked, slowly backing away, sensing the shift in power. You may have won this round, but I will return. As he sauntered off into the darkness, Jason felt a tumult of fear and relief wash over him. The immediate danger may have retreated, but they were far from safe. With a shaky breath, he turned back to his daughters, kneeling down before them. It's okay now. You're safe, he whispered as tears pricked at the corner of his eyes. Maya clung to Leah, looking up at him with uncertainty. What did he mean, Dad? What did he want? Jason took a moment to gather his thoughts, searching for the right words. He wants to make things difficult for us, but I promise you we'll get through this together. No one else is going to come between us. As he spoke, doubt brushed against his heart. Did he really believe that? But looking into their eyes, he knew he had to try. Jessica, her face pale, stepped forward. I'm so sorry for everything. I should have never left, she said, tears glistening like tiny shards of glass. I'll do whatever it takes to protect you all. With uncertainty still hanging thick in the air, Jason nodded, knowing this was the start of rebuilding, not just with his daughters but with Jessica as well. They had to be a team, if they were going to fight against the darkness that threatened to engulf them. Together they would navigate this new reality. Jason felt the flicker of hope ignite in his heart. This was their time and opportunity to confront what had been hiding in their shadows, and once again find light amidst chaos. Let us go inside, he said, wrapping his arms around his daughters. Together we will figure this out. As they stepped back into the warmth of their home, Jason knew they would face the battles to come, but for the first time in years, he felt a surge of determination replace the darkness in his heart. They would reclaim their future, one moment at a time. Now that you've reached the end, it's vital to show your support. You need to subscribe now to the channel for more exclusive stories. Leave a like immediately to help feed the algorithm. Don't just be a passive viewer. Comment below with your reactions and feelings about this intense ending. And make sure to share instantly with at least 5 friends who need to see this remarkable transformation. This is the moment to shine. Don't wait not even one more second to share. Your support makes all the difference.